the one thing that's really stood out for me in Delhi has been the one thing that I really feel proud about myself. The current TV series that I'm watching, my favorite wicket is... Hi Arjun, I'm basically not a very big fan of Premier League football. I don't follow it very closely. But my favorite football team is the Spanish team that won the World Cup in South Africa and also won the Euro in 2008. I really love the way Spain plays the football. Hi Samarth, during this lockdown period I've been spending a lot of time with my family, which is not something that's been common over the last 10 years. Having two young kids at home, it's been lovely to spend time with them. And I've also been going through a lot of books and watching a bit of TV. That's all you can do. Hi Riddhi, me taking up to spin was after the 2001 series that India and Australia played and how Harbhajan Singh bowled in that series. So he's always been someone who's inspired me, and a modern day spinner, I motivate myself good enough. Hi Mohit, I'm sure this pandemic is hit us really hard. The first thing I would do after this COVID pandemic finishes would be to look after the welfare of people that have worked for me and also people that have been working through for me over the years and see how they're doing, and also make sure that they're back on track and their family is looked after really well. Hi Yash, the one thing that's really stood out for me in Delhi has been the amazing food that you get there. The quality of Punjabi food that you get in Delhi is fabulous. Hi Rohan, even though I enrolled into engineering and completed my degree, it was always cricket that was at the front of my thought process. And to make a decision like that is always a very difficult one for me and my family and the society that came along. There was pressure for me to do something else other than cricket. A lot of people all through my life have always doubted whether cricket will be the right career, would it fetch enough rewards. But at the top of my head, I never really saw it as something that's going to put food on plate for me. I saw it as something that I loved, and for the immense love that I've shown towards the game has given me back in plenty. Hi Prabhakar, the one thing that I really feel proud about myself for having done is starting the Ashwin Foundation. It's always been at the top of my list to give back to the game, give back to the community, and for me to be able to help underprivileged kids or kids that cannot afford to play the sport and also make a difference in their lives is something that is very close to my heart. Mr. Omlal, your Delhi Capitals jersey is pending. And by the way, my dry sense of humor comes from predominantly from my dad and watching a lot of Tamil movies, and now I'm practicing it on my wife. Hi Smriti, on the current TV series that I'm watching, basically I'm trying to keep it very light, so I'm just watching some stand-up comedy, no real series in particular. Hi Mahipal, thanks for asking the question on which is my favorite wicket. My favorite wicket is of that of Hashim Amla's in the 2014 T20 World Cup, and I'm sure all of you would have seen that ball from round the stumps. I got him out bowled, so that's my favorite.